of the world's largest automakers just zapped the left's massive push to transition to electric vehicles. Speaking about California's rule to ban sales of gas-powered vehicles by 2035, the president of Toyota says, quote, realistically speaking, it seems rather difficult to really achieve them, but just like the fully autonomous cars that we were all supposed to be driving by now, EVs are just going to take longer to become mainstream than the media would like us to believe. Okay, so we have the president of Toyota. This is Akio Toyoda, the grandson of the founder of Toyota. He might know a thing or two about cars, I think.
Yeah.
He's saying, wait a second, I don't think we're ready to make this transition so quickly. He points to the impacts on the electrical grid. He says there's a lack of easy access to electricity. So there's all kinds of issues there. And now the governor of California, the governor of New York is following suit to the governor of California. Governor Kathy Hochul, she says when it comes to fighting climate change and supporting clean transportation, we're putting the pedal to the metal. So she wants to do the same thing, ban gas-powered cars by 2035. So, Jimmy, let me go to you first because you were a taxi driver here in New York City. How does this work with taxis being electric? Where are they charging? There's no place to even park in New York City.
No, there's none. And I want to correct Mr. Toyota because we were supposed to have flying cars by now, according to the Jetsons.
That's right.
It wasn't even self-driving and autonomous and everything in between. There's no practical way to implement this, and I wish our leaders would be honest about it. We've already seen green energy fail the state of California. We're not even a month removed from the whole you can't plug in your car, you can't run your air conditioning. There's Gavin Newsom's in a double fleece and they're ice fishing over his shoulder. But you guys got to keep the temperature up nice and high in your house. The idea that they're running in this direction always speaks to the fact that the Democrats raise a lot of money off green energy. Okay, but is it sustainable? No. What are they doing in Germany right now? They've enacted a lot of this. They're opening coal plants. Who benefits, okay, from all the green energy manufacturing? China. It's a scam, okay? And to be honest with you, I don't begrudge anybody their electric vehicle, but I resent them because I consider it veganism on wheels. They always work it into the first sentence of every conversation. They're like, I'm Mike, I drive a Tesla. I'm like, Mike, nobody cares, okay? But I don't think there's any world where the taxi drivers would sign up for this. There's no way, because again, you can't do the mileage, okay? That's the thing you got to think about really quick is most of these cars have got a range of about 200 miles.
Right.
In a taxi shift, if I'm off the road for an hour or two, okay, understand, we eat our lunch driving in a taxi to turn a profit. You don't have those 2 hours. Never mind, you're probably going to get jumped at the pump now. So no way. I'm a no. I'm a hard no.
Okay. All right. I got it. Okay. So Raymond, Jimmy makes some good points about the difficulties and, the lack of charging stations. And in California, we saw, rules implemented. You can't charge from certain times of the day.
Right. They just shut down the charging. Here's my question. Lisa and I can commiserate here.
Okay.
In Florida, in Louisiana, when we have to evacuate in a hurricane, what do we do? Do we bring extra batteries?
Sorry, guys.
Put the kids in the trunk?
It comes with an oar. You can row out.
Yeah, you can row. Exactly.
Row.
Hope it's a floating Tesla.
Yeah.
The other thing, the price tag on these cars, we're talking $80,000 vehicles. Most middle-class people can't afford that. So the very idea that we're breaking the middle class to do this in the name of protecting the environment, what charges the electrical grid? Natural gas and coal predominantly. I'm sorry, that's the reality. You save nothing in this exchange. And anytime the federal government is mandating your mode of travel, infringing on your liberty of movement, they're infringing on your liberty full stop. I think it's all unconstitutional, frankly, in that rationale.
Well, that brings up a good question for Lisa. And, as you dig more into this, there are more questions and more questions. But, Lisa, I've heard you talk so often about the reasons.
And just often, period.
Even during the break, she just talks.
Yeah, even during the break. Just about, the various reasons people move from state to state. Is this just now another reason for people to move out of New York and California to other states where they don't have these rules imposing on their lives?
Yeah, I think it's certainly on the list, but it does give them control, right? They say you can have to get an electric vehicle, but we're going to tell you when you can drive and when you can charge it. And when you charge it, what does it you have to have electricity. Where does electricity come from? Fossil fuels, right? But this is a death mission. That's what it is. It's going to lead to human suffering, death, and destruction. I interviewed Governor Kevin Stitt, and he was talking about that polar vortex in Texas and Oklahoma that hit so hard a while back. And he said coal saved the day. The wind turbines were frozen.
Yeah.
Coal saved the day. You look at Sri Lanka as well. They enacted these green policies. They can't feed their people. You have 70% inflation in August there, right? So it leads to death and destruction. Fossil fuels leads to a better life for all of us. But I think that's their ultimate goal, is to bring devastation.
I have a
It
fix.
has to be. That's the only answer.
Jimmy has a fix.
Here's the fix. We actually do need